carrier operations, because that's clearly what we need right now. Yeah, carriers. But that is improving my destroyers. Destroyer sub-detection, destroyer organization, escort efficiency. And yes, I will spend the points on it. Have there been any upgrades? Whoops, I meant to build a new one. I meant to check the upgrade variants. I don't think they have. We do have radar. Although we're not using you for surface detection, so I don't think we need the radar. And it only adds a +5. It makes you more expensive. Build the carriers now. They'll be ready by the time 1950 rolls around. Minimum. %, coverage. You need so many destroyers to cover against submarines. Especially late game. Alright, we're getting a couple more units that can go and join this. Who says that they could push? Really? I'm not convinced. I need to see evidence. $7.5 million. What's after service by requirement? All adults serve, I think. Yep. And that's when their industry really starts to take a beating. And scraping the barrels when it gets truly bad. So the difference in industry is actually going to be leveling out a little bit as we do more and more manpower damage to them. Simply because they'll start having to take troops out of the factories, or people out of the factories and turning them into troops. I also like how all of this fighting is now on American turf, not Mexican. We're taking a lot less damage now. We've still taken a fair amount, still taking time to repair, but there is a lot less of it. How's the American fleet doing? 300 ships. Britain's down to 100. Germany's up to 130. Still no German invasion of the UK, though. There we are, jet engines. Well, I guess we need to start researching jet fighters. So, hang on. What did we decide was the difference between these? Tier 3 fighters actually have better agility. Jet fighters have a longer range. They're slightly better against bombers, but they're not as good against fighters. No, in terms of superiority, we still want the light fighters, although they cost a lot less aluminium. And then they cost tungsten instead. That doesn't matter right now. Okay, never mind. So in that case, no, I don't want to research jet fighters. I'm going to hold off with all of that stuff for now. Better radar? Doctrine's still ticking along. Get better AT. I think better radar. And then we could actually start building some radar on our front line. You. 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 All in that army. Blue Water Navy. Gulf Naval Yards? No, we want to... well... yes, we do want the dockyards, actually. Do we? No, I don't think we do, actually. Thinking about it. Cancel that. Let's go and continue with the continuous focus and get everything repaired. I think that Texas is basically a lost cause in terms of repairs, but everything else is doable. Is there a focus for faster factory building? I don't think there is. No, it's just infrastructure and forts and anti-air. Earlier when I was doing all the anti-air upgrades, that would have been good. But not anymore. Okay, so we can modify the government again. Chief of Air Force, we could get an ace generation or superiority. Plus 10. Ooh, that superiority would actually be super nice. Do it. I hesitated there a little bit, because I wasn't sure about manpower, but I think we'll have fine. There's never been a continuous factory build. Not in vanilla, anyway. Guys are still so low on equipment. Still mostly those heavy tanks, man. Despite the fact I'm producing 4 a day, 17 factories dedicated to it. It's almost a fifth of my entire industry. It's anti-air and heavy tanks that we're short on, and fighters. We really, really need to be focusing more on fighters. I just don't have the capacity to do it. That's a point. I need to make sure that you are on split repair. You are. Good. 13 submarines. We're being sunk somewhere again very heavily. Where's dangerous? Up here. Right, stop going there. See if we can catch any convoys coming through these lines. We should be able to. Caught one up there somehow. Don't think we were actually protecting up there though. Who's the new president? That is Truman. We took a huge amount of damage in that attack. Struggling with chromium. Oh, and steel. Oh, why didn't you say something? Could have helped you with that. Though that's using up some more of my civilian factories, which we really need for building more military factories. Right, and after this, I really want roads here. Because if we get roads there, then we can build a ton of factories here. Advanced sub-warfare, that helps. Submarines should be getting better and better. Here's the last one. Surface detection, rating efficiency, organization. Mid-Atlantic still gets caught. We're up to 10 escorts now, 9% efficiency. We need so many destroyers, it's obscene. I know I've said it before, but I'm going to keep on saying it. 17. Alright, so now we're able to bring in some more units to go and reinforce the purple line, which is nice. So I was a little bit concerned about how shaky that line was looking. I think I'm also going to go and have a look at the expeditionary, see if I can recruit any more. Couple. Not many. Not many at all. Then Cuba can have the Cuban units. Because I don't need to move those. Marines! Yay! Okay, so we now need to build a marine template. So I think we're going to go... How many can I get, I wonder? I think we're going to go with a... similar type of system. Whoops. To my regular infantry. Minus the heavy tanks. Huzzah! Maybe with rocket artillery instead of anti-air because they do more damage. Whoa! Whirlbird coming in with the serious generosity there. Huzzah! There's going to be a lot of huzzahs here. Thank you so much for the 5 gifted subs. I appreciate that. It's awesome. And I think one more infantry just to hold things up. Huzzah! So how good are we at crossing rivers? That's the real question. Plus 16 attack. Yeah, that'll have to do. Huzzah! Huzzah! And yes, you're going to be on high priority as well. This is a very expensive template. Crikey. I think I'm going to switch all of these for Marines. Marines have less defense, more breakthrough. Breakthrough is actually what we're after here. What has more breakthrough? Rocket artillery or artillery? Rocket artillery, definitely. And then an anti-air to give you cover against the air. So we're going to be able to get maybe 5? 4. Good enough. That should allow us to at least establish a beachhead. Hopefully. You guys are still so short on equipment. And these divisions I think I'm going to have to deploy. And they'll require quite a lot of training. I see we're holding against the Yang, so we're more than holding, we are defeating them. Wow, we are losing a lot of Germany. Steel. We are slowly but surely beating them back. We've had a couple of hiccups, mostly to do with just them having so many sodding divisions now. And also there's a lot of rivers and stuff around. And my last attack was way too expensive. I should have called it off far sooner than I did. We're still paying the price. Like, their strength is so low because they're lacking that heavy tank unit. Like, everything else, more or less, they have is literally just the heavy tanks. San Holo, thank you very much for the bits. Just pre-ordered the collector's edition for Three Kingdoms, am I a bad person? I mean, it looks good. It looks really good. How are the casualties now? That's a good question. America has lost 7.7 million. I've lost 338,000. Wow, the Dutch East Indies have lost a lot. I wonder how. Now, they probably just lost their armies trying to cross the water or something stupid. Although I'm somewhat surprised that the Dutch East Indies have held against Japan. Because you are at war with Japan, right? No, you're only at war with Germany. Ah, okay. That makes more sense. What's the situation over in Europe? It's nothing good. But it was a really weird game. Germany, Italy, and Japan never allied. Japan never attacked America. Germany and Japan double-teamed the Soviet Union. Italy has done basically nothing. Hungary has been the real aggressor. Republican Spain won the American Civil War, then joined the Comintern, as did I. Soviet Union got annihilated, but the Republican Spanish actually did more damage to the Germans than the Soviets did. Like, that's how bad the Soviets were doing in this one. But when the Soviet Union fell, Spain also fell. I managed to get out of that war, then using a couple of console cheats, managed to peace out Britain, because I hadn't lost a single man in that entire conflict. Like, nothing happened in Mexico. Then Japan took out China in about 6 months at the start of the game. India had a civil war. Socialist India somehow lost that civil war. I'm still not entirely sure how they managed that one. France held out a surprising amount of time against the Germans, but ultimately did fall. And the USA declared war on Free France. Not Vichy France, not Germany, not Japan, Free France. Draft dodging. A new report in the War Office shows a marked reduction in the available manpower. It appears that the latest batch of recruits is much smaller than initially expected. The discrepancy is currently under investigation, but first leads points towards a large number of people who are technically fit for service and managed to avoid the draft through various means. 18-year-old students are suddenly skilled workers employed in critical war industry. Former athletes fail their fitness tests. In some cases, recruits have simply vanished without a trace. And a strange triangle symbol was found on their door. When people are caught and interrogated, they point towards the poor conditions in the army, the indifferent officers not wanting to die for a lost cause. Military leaders demand harsh crackdowns on people avoiding the draft, but many governments believe that improving the living conditions of enlisted soldiers might be a better approach. Leave it, improve, or pay them more. I'll pay them more. Not really using those political points for anything else anyway. I'm mostly just waiting to get more tanks. Because that's what we are really criminally short on. Alright, America seems to have stopped trying to attack us, which is awfully nice of them, really. Is there a hard year cut-off? Not really. Although if it drags down too much, I think I'm just going to stop. What country is in South India? That is the Commune of France. And Pakistan is in Pakistan and also Bengal. For some reason. Because of course they are. Ooh, that was a success. Don't know who that is, but we sank a lot. Oh, it's Haiti, isn't it? Let's get... Oh, this is all carrier stuff. I don't really care about carriers. And this is battle fleet detection, which we don't have any of. Well, that's basically the naval doctrine work done. So I'd say let's research the 1944 destroyer and start putting some of those out. Only 3 years late. Part of the problem here is I can't see what America's using against us. I think one thing we could use to fix that. Oh, some radar. Maybe we'll get an idea of what type of troops they have. And leases have ended, so I'm now positive in artillery. Yeah, I am. It's just AA. And aircraft. Actually, AA we meant to keep. Alright, now we can get some more tanks under construction. Let's get some more of those. Let's get some more of steel. Thankfully we're not at war with the Germans, so we can do that. Although we may well need to start building some more civilian factories because we are actually running out of civilian factories. So I think we're going to order that. Let's cancel you and build civilian factories here instead. Sure, I'm going to regret it. Never mind. Salas was wounded. Who was the stand-in? I don't even remember. No, you're a level 5. 5. 5. 5. 3. 3. I feel like you were my reserve. Yeah, you were definitely the reserve. Salas was in charge of that unit. Meanwhile, any more traits? Not seeing any. Disappointed! Draft reform proves effective. The social measures passed by the government as part of the larger process of reforming the military recruitment policy have proven surprisingly popular. Higher pay and more frequent leave are to be cited as the biggest new benefits, but many also point to the government programs to support war widows and orphans. Fewer and fewer men can justify refusing the country's call to the colours, and public support for the draft dodgers has all but disappeared. Indeed, there has been a recent upswing in public support for the government, as more and more people realise that the Mexican way of life is under attack. And we wish to hunt and destroy. Even more air support efficiency. How are we doing for fighters? Oh wow, we have a lot of rocket interceptors. Okay, we need to reduce the number of those we're building. Just go down to 1. Is that because we just have loads? Ah! Right, we've built this. Cool. Let's bring in 300 interceptors here. And then we'll also need to upgrade the air bases in both of those locations. Once the air bases are built, of course. I mean the radar. How's the Navy doing? Ooh, gaining. 12 destroyers and 19 submarines. That's good. And the destroyers are chasing off their subs. And therefore, effective. Good. 10% efficiency. We sank 2 subs. Oh, hell yeah. Still 400 tanks short, but we are building a bunch more now. Communist trading with fascists. Where's the roleplay? It's called necessity. More steel required. Less tungsten required. We're still losing friendly convoys, unfortunately. You are still losing ships. You are still gaining ships. I dread to even look at what Japan's done with ships. 800? Basically, the Pacific Ocean's become the Japanese Ocean at this point. Let's keep those radar coming. Because we would... Oops. Like to upgrade their levels. Oh, actually, hold on. Let's make you just level 1, because Texas is the one that we want to have the high level on. Because a level 3 is going to be able to reach a lot. How are we doing here? Still losing stuff. I'm nominally waiting for the Marines to finish, but I'm going to use my tanks. Is that a bug? Japanese volunteers? I might war with them. It's Japanese volunteers. I suspect that there are a lot of Japanese, considering they have a lot of divisions, and the number of volunteers you can send is a portion of your total divisions. It's like 10% or something. And they have 750 divisions. So they probably have about 75 volunteer divisions. Oh, America's launching a large offensive. 8.2 million lost. They are fast running out of manpower, actually. How's their unit strength looking? Oh, these are the Japanese attacking. Unit strength is wavering a bit. Ace pilot promoted. Okay, I'm going to use my tanks. I've had enough. It's time to deploy. I'm going to deploy you. That's all a river, isn't it? Is that all a river? No. Just up to here. So let's cancel